Reddit. What the best revenge you've ever gotten on someone? This happened a while ago. A little bit of background, but my then girlfriend had had sex with this ex-Marine guy who was a total hothead. He got kicked out because he punched his CO in the face. Real fucking smart of her to get involved in, but what am I gonna do? I had to deal with him all the time, calling her, freaking her out, showing up at her house at 3 a.m. and sitting for a few hours then leaving. The kid was fucking nuts. What made it bad for me was that he was 24. I was 17 at the time. I'm pretty strong for my age, but I'm not gonna bullshit myself. There was nothing I could do against someone of his physique. He was my height and outweighed me by probably 40 pounds. Halloween of last year, he showed up when my girlfriend and I were having a fight. About him, funnily enough. He rolled into the parking lot. No fucking idea how he found us, but whatever. He got out of his car and stormed towards us. She walked over to him and told him to leave. I yell at him to get the fuck out and roll up my sleeves, ready for a rumble, and he saw this as a threat. He puffs up and yells, "Come the fuck at me, you faggot." I thought for a second. I had had enough of this guy. It had been a year. He had been tormenting her, and I walked over toward him, and he started getting all ready for some real Hulk smash shit to go down. I walked right past him, over to his car, opened up the driver door, and asked him to get in. He looked at me like I just asked him nicely to do something, and overcome with Neanderthal rage, he ran full speed at me. I was fucking scared, and at the last second, moved out of the way, pushing the door closed. He smashed face first into the window and did a number on the side of the car. His face was really messed up, and I didn't know whether or not he was conscious. Never having got into a physical altercation before, I was really disturbed by this, and so didn't know how to act. I looked at him, and did the first thing that came into my head. I spanked him over and over and said, "Leave me the fuck alone," spanking him on each word. My girlfriend stopped me, and I stood up. I looked at her and said, "You wanna have his children, they had unprotected sex, then you deal with his childish antics. I'm fucking done with both of you." Got in my car, and drove the speed limit out of there, freed of all of my baggage, and heart beating like a drum. TL, Dr. dodged a bull, spanked a child, and obeyed all traffic laws. Sorry for the length. Edit, she had sex with him the first day that we went on a break after 8 months. No idea why I took her back. Guess I'm a softie. Back when I was a wee kid, we lived across from a popular public pool in a tiny street, so parking was premium. We sometimes had issues with people parking across our driveway, but we were pretty chummy with the pool owner and would just get him to put the message out over the loudspeakers, and the people would come over, apologize, and move their car. However, one afternoon coming home from school, this person had the audacity to park in our driveway, in our garage. My dad was dumbfounded. We went over and put the message out as per usual, and this woman in her 30s came over in a huff and said she would fix it when she had finished her exercise routine. So my dad just parked behind her, and we went out for dinner for 4 hours or so. She was pissed, but the story does not end there. She kept doing it, usually 2 to 4 times a month. Eventually, my dad would not think twice about parking her in and letting her out at his own leisure. No problem by us, lots of problems by her. She once called the police on us, to which they just told her to not park on private property, and wrote her a citation. But wait, there's more. One Saturday morning, she had the goal to park us in our own driveway. Dad had had enough. He made sure she was doing her laps, grabbed a coat hanger, gymmed the car open, and dismantled the passenger seat, taking it out and leaving it on the curb in front of the pool exit. He then sat on our front deck, sipping his tea as she came out of the pool to get her car. She walked past the passenger seat without a second glance and scowled at him as she opened her car and got in. She then did a double take as she went to put her bag on the seat. She freaked out, realizing that my dad had had access to her car and belongings this entire time and done nothing about it until now. She ran over, grabbed her seat, put it in the boot, and drove off. Never heard from her again. TL, doctor, don't fuck with a man that can dismantle your car. I made my old boss think I gave him herpes, ... I worked in a crappy factory for a while, and my boss was a dick. A dick beyond dicks like fire people for no reason then go home and beat your wife, dick. He was also untouchable due to his uncle owning the company. He would come down to the floor while we were at break to check our work and he would use my gloves to do it. Made us buy our own gloves. I bought really nice comfy ones. Thought this was extremely nasty, it was the middle of summer, and asked him to stop. He just shrugged. After about 3 happenings, I got an idea. I grabbed an old pair of gloves, a poison ivy leaf, and a hammer. Put the poison ivy in glove and pounded away. Kept the gloves in a bag in my lunchbox till I went to lunch. Sure enough, left the poison gloves out, and he used them. I came back, and sure enough, he used them. 2 hours later, he came out to my machine, itching like crazy, and red bumps all over his hands. Came right up to me, let me see your hands. I showed him my hands, he showed me his. You didn't use my gloves, did you? I got some terrible rash on my hands from some slut at the strip club last week. No words, no looks. He just left. He left work, went to the doctor, and I hope told that exact story. My ex-wife kidnapped my daughter and went to Germany to live with her parents. After $50,000, 5 lawyers in 2 countries, the State Department, Center for Missing and Exploited Children, and lots of anxiety. I got my daughter back and had a fucking lethal court case against my ex. I chose to drop the charges because I didn't want my daughter to have a mum that was in jail. The county decided to drop the kidnapping charges if she agreed to return to the USA. I could have had anything I wanted from that court case, but all I asked for was 50/50ths influence on custody, education, health, and life decisions. That's all I was asking for originally before my ex flipped her shit and left in the first place. Now my ex is married and has become super religious. I have taught my daughter to be accepting of others' beliefs, but to question everything. She thinks her mum is nuts, ... My daughter is fucking awesome.
Had to make a throwaway for this, even though it'll probably get buried because the thread's so old. Total douche in the box in high school. Let's call him Jay. He was one of the cool popular lacrosse team kids. Big, macho, bang cheerleaders, picked on everyone not as cool as him, etc. etc. You all know the guy. I, on the other hand, was the awkward, nerdy band girl. Pretty awkward looking in high school. I hung out with the other geeks or nerds, got bullied a bit, and this guy was an absolute ass to me. Called me ugly. Got his popular girlfriends to be complete total bitches to me. Not that they really needed encouragement, but he and his friends would pick on our guy friends in public, and they'd follow suit. Just a total ass. I mean, rude comments on a daily basis made me feel fucking awful about myself. Fast forward several years. I'm in my junior year of college, and I'm working as a dominatrix with my housemates. You can see where this is going. We ran the business out of our basement, which we turned into a dungeon. It was all private. We picked our own clients, vetted them between ourselves, had big guy friends over in case anyone was sketchy, etc. Not at all what I ever saw myself doing, but it paid really, really well. Could even be fun when you got into it. Anyway, we ran the business out of our basement, which we turned into a dungeon. It was all private. We picked our own clients, vetted them between ourselves, had big guy friends over in case anyone was sketchy, etc. Not at all what I ever saw myself doing, but it paid really, really well. Could even be fun when you got into it. Anyway, so this guy schedules a session with one of my co-workers. She gets sick and asks if I'd like to take her session over so she doesn't have to cancel on a new client. She checks with the guy and says, "Hey, I'm not available, but would you like to meet with my co-worker instead?" He agrees. The way we usually greeted clients is this: they'd come to the door. One of our girlfriends would answer it, invite them in, and take their payment and run it upstairs while they waited in the lobby. The main doms would look down menacingly from the indoor balcony over the door. We'd have a large and intimidating guy friend lounging on the couch in the other room or something, just so they'd know someone's there. The assistant would then lead them downstairs and get ready, usually getting naked and blindfolded. And then the main attraction would come down. So I walked downstairs, fully dressed for a scene, all ready to humiliate the shit out of this guy. I went over with my co-worker what he was into. Forced feminization or cross-dressing, anal, ball torture, etc. Nothing out of the ordinary. I get downstairs and he's standing timidly in front of our varsity. Andrews crosses, naked and blindfolded, anxiously hiding his junk and starting to get aroused. It takes a few minutes, but I suddenly realize, holy shit, I know him. Oh my god, it's him. This is in a different city, in a different state than where we went to high school. The odds of this happening are minuscule. Doming was always a job for me. It paid the bills, and that's about it. I was never really into it. That all changed. My cruel laughter was the most authentic it's ever been. My insults stung with real venom. My sneer was filled with genuine malice. I dressed him up in a fucking pink ballerina costume, tied him to a cross, kicked him repeatedly in the balls, insulted him constantly, and he loved every minute of it. He was rock hard, and still an attractive guy overall, and totally fell into subspace. Yes, mistress this, and of course mistress that. Towards the end, I have him tied in a crawling position on one of the benches, and I'm fucking him in the ass with a dildo on a stick. I ask him if he wants to take the blindfold off. He's so far gone at this point that he's just agreeing to anything I say. It's dark in the dungeon, but I stand under one of the colored lights and wait for his eyes to adjust. If I had taken a picture of my sadistic grin and used it for advertising, I could have doubled my prices. Our eyes meet. He does a double take, still very loopy from the hour of fun. Fucking priceless. His expression changes slowly as it sinks in and he crashes down from his happy place. Ecstasy, confusion, and finally abject horror as he realizes who's been fucking him in the ass with a dildo. He's completely speechless. Mr. Big Shot, popular macho super jock, tied down in a pink dress to a table with a dildo in his ass, all in front of the little nerdy gal he used to torment in high school. GG motherfucker. Time's up, bitch, I add as cruelly as I've ever spoken. I untie him as he furiously ponders what just happened. He doesn't say a word. I point him to the bathroom to change and clean himself up. We usually let them jack off in the shower or something afterward. He's still hard. He changes in record time and staggers out of the bathroom. Still, I just got fucked in the ass mess. He leaves without saying a word, and we don't hear from him again. Obviously, I never told anyone, but oh my god, was it satisfying. My co-workers and I laughed about it for weeks though. TL. Dr. Popular guy was mean to me in high school. Fucked him in the ass.
What revenge stories do you have? Write in the comments, and don't forget to like this video.